pre-owned electronics with full grading, warranties, and transparency. We are now going to get into how and why you should consider doing that. I'm going to be talking now to Mishaan Ratan, who is a managing director of the Hawker. Good morning.
Morning, Puleng.
I'm well. Are you well, Mishaan?
I'm very well. It's good to be on your show, and welcome to the listeners, and thanks for tuning in.
Mishaan, tell us what you do exactly at the Hawker.
Okay, so the Hawker is, well, our vision for it is to become South Africa's largest marketplace for refurbished products. So if you think about, sort of the market as we see it in terms of e-commerce plays, majority of it is all new purchase, right? We found that there's an opportunity based on information that, we obviously read and collect and constantly look at. And we've said that, hey, there's an opportunity here which we see growing, which is, hey, South Africans are under pressure. You see different industries growing in sort of people what like to call secondhand market when, which might have a little bit of a stigma, but the data shows that sort of segment is growing tremendously, and not just for things like cars, which we all know about, and are very comfortable to, sort of purchase secondhand vehicle, but it's starting to spread across, sort of multiple verticals, especially electronics. I think that's the highest growing vertical when it comes to refurbished or pre-owned products. We're even seeing some of the OEMs, as you might know, that have their own sort of refurbished programs that allow people to sort of trade in and then you can purchase a refurbished product. So we looked at all of this and we said, hey, listen, there's an opportunity here, not just for electronics, but I think that people need a lot of stuff. If they start becoming comfortable with, pre-owned and refurbished, there's a market where you've got tons of product outside of just electronics. You're talking about things like appliances and baby goods, which is a huge market itself, and the secondhand market is tremendously large. Why not find a way to sort of aggregate all of it and give people the opportunity to shop across everything through one trusted platform, which obviously we will build over the next couple of years. And that's sort of what the Hawker does. It gives people access to these refurbished products, which are sort of graded, like you mentioned, and come with warranties as well, and allow people to get the products that they need that have, are still fully functional and are in a great condition, although they might not be brand new.
Okay, so many people regard new products, item gore, they are like the best quality and they're safe. But Mishaan, what core value proposition beyond the price difference does the Hawker then offer that your client, and yes, basically that's actually where I want to go, because remember, if I walk into a store with my wallet and I know it hasn't been touched before, for some reason I know there's no wear and tear there.
Yeah, sure. And I think it goes back to sort of my previous point around, people are becoming more comfortable with the purchase of refurbished products, right? And you can see that by the growth in the market. So our value proposition, outside of just the price, is obviously, sort of trust. It's the grading pieces that we put together across your product sets. And it's about the way we source our products as well. So one of the UVPs, like I mentioned previously, is it's not just electronics, it's not just appliances, it's a ton of stuff. It's fitness, there's baby goods. That gives us sort of an advantage right now in the market, because we have sort of access to these things, and that's where we've built it. So that's one of the propositions. But again, like you're saying, you go into a store, it's brand new, it's shiny, you can trust it because you walk into that exact store for that brand. That's fine, right? But what we're trying to do on Hawker is, sort of all of these stores that you go into that have new product, remember, they also have sort of damaged product. They have demo stock. They have all of these things that they don't want to sell to you in their store because it's brand new. Again, the reason that we can build a business like this is because there's an opportunity to take those products and give it to customer. And people might think, oh, it's been used, it's been thrown around, it's been damaged. Actually, with our grading process, it's pretty stringent, and trust is the big piece here that people are going to look at in South Africa for something like this. So if we say that it's a grade A, it's 100% functional, it might have a minor scratch or something like that, we have a promise to every customer that what we say, we deliver. And if we can do that, I think you have to win customer one by one by one, right? Because the opportunity is there. People want to purchase this product, but again, they're a bit hesitant. If you can deliver that promise, you can deliver the trust and the clarity and transparency of what they're going to get, plus give them, clear grading to match that, and then have things like warranties that we've put in place for products. So should and 7-day return policy. So should anything go wrong, we will obviously be responsible to cover that as long as you communicate that with us. So we know it's what South Africans want and have wanted traditionally, but I think that's changing, and that's evident by the data. I mean, this market itself, in terms of refurbished product across the whole spectrum of products that I've spoken about now, is growing at 8% a year. 9%. By 2030, that's supposed to double, right? So you're looking at a total market value of refurbished goods, which is in excess of 25 billion rand, right? And majority of that, what you're seeing is sort of the traditional guys, which are the classifieds or kind of operation, where you have some stores and it's not really looked after, right? You get something, an individual gives it in, they just put it on. With us, it's sourced effectively. We make sure that nothing goes on site unless it's actually graded properly. We have technicians in-house that manage all of this. And if it's not up to standard, it just doesn't go onto the website.
Oh, okay. That brings me to my next question now, because I think it's quite clear then what your mission is, and how you kind of differ from me going to kind of, what do they call these stores? Forgot. But they're very popular. Incredible. No, that one is brand new. These ones, the second-hand stores,
your cash crusaders.
The cash crusaders. Crash.
Yes, that's what I meant with
They're cash crusaders. Hopefully
exactly.
they don't crash.
Well, I hope not. But that's the market that people are used to, right? And on top of that, you've got something like Facebook Marketplace, which is
I was
going to
say that.
Facebook
Also.
Marketplace. The estimated value of transactions since it started to now is almost 7 billion rand, right?
Oh,
Just think
wow.
about that. People are comfortable to do this. Yes,
Hey.
and I've had bad experiences with classifieds and those kind of things. It's unsafe, lost money, all of those kind of things. So we've been through some of these experiences, and we're trying to mitigate all of those issues by making sure that we become a trusted platform, and you have a face to put to this.
Yeah.
And we avoid those issues that everybody else sees in the other stores by ensuring that we have, a high level of detail on the product sourcing and the product assessment and grading to get to customer.
So to consistently deliver on the quality that you promise, this one is a big one, and I think everybody wants to know, where then do you primarily source your pre-owned inventory?
Well, like I said, there's the OEMs that have spun up their own programs.
Okay.
There's massive retailers. So we've not gone on the peer-to-peer option like you see in most of these traditional places where there's a trade-in and those kind of things. There's an opportunity to take product from sort of credible and existing businesses within South Africa. So our sourcing strategy is to partner with sort of established businesses and work as sort of an off-taker channel for them to create an alternative sales channel for their business, because like I said, they have a product that they can't sell to customer in their stores or online. We then become sort of the channel for them to execute on that, and that is, like I said, across multiple verticals: electronics, appliances, baby goods, all of those kind of things. And we're constantly sourcing new suppliers to do this from. And again, it's not an individual giving a product in. It is actually that business or that brand that owns that product that is unable to move that stock. We're able then to give them a market to penetrate to push the stock into. And that, I think, is the big difference right now with us, is that you've got the bigger businesses, retailers, established businesses, even smaller and medium enterprises who provided us with product. We still then vet those products before we put them onto site. But it gives us sort of credibility when you've got products that have come from established businesses and brands, because they don't want to taint their sort of in their business either. So you've got this consistency and this trust and this confidence in that sort of value chain that we've built all the way to the consumer.
Okay. So lastly then, why did you guys decide to call yourselves The Hawker?
That's an interesting one, right? Because we built this because we're South Africans. We have the same issues. We we create things because we want to solve problems. And when we looked at it and we said, where's this market growing? Why is it growing in this way? And we said, how do we actually differentiate ourselves from the other guys in the market, and what makes us who we are? And we're South African, right? Everybody wants to do these things, and they want to it's all about the product. I think it's about who we are and what we stand for, and are we relatable, are we authentic, right? And some people might see that there might be an issue with the name like the Hawker, and we've experienced that. We've done some research and surveys, and before we went with this name. But we firmly believe that the name like the Hawker was inspired by South Africans. You have a Hawker, everyone knows what a Hawker is, whether you be Secunda, in Zeerust, in Sandton, wherever you are, right? Hawkers are a part of South Africans' lives and part of the fabric of society here. They are always present, and they are along your everyday journey, which allows you to access the things that you want in those journeys daily. A majority of South Africans deal with hawkers on a daily basis. What we're trying to do is give people the ability to understand what we're trying to do, which is we want to be part of your everyday life. We want to be part of your everyday journey, and we want to give you the opportunity to get the things that you need at a fraction of the cost, and have the confidence to interact with us, so that you can get the brands that you want and the essential products that you want at a fraction of the cost, and know that we are the partner that will guarantee these things and ensure that if there is any issue, we will fix it for you. So I suppose the name came from that, right? It's about being South African, being authentic, being part of everybody's everyday life and everyday journey, because at any point in your journey, you might need something different, right? And we want to be that brand that shows up in your life, that goes, hey, listen, I need this today, or I need this tomorrow. I want to go to the Hawker because it's part of my option set, and they're able to deliver quality product, and I can trust them, and they will support me with whatever I need at a very, very good price in the market.
Okay, Mishaan, thank you so much for chatting to us. So you guys are only online?
Yes, for now we're online. We obviously, it's a relatively new business, but it's already seen tremendous uptake in the last couple of months, which is very positive. Again, it reinforces the fact that we made a decision based on information and data and behavior of South Africans, and the fact that it's growing and it's working shows that there is a need for this. So obviously it's only online for now. We have clear logistics where we deliver and collect for free for now, as it stands. So we want to do these things to build the trust with customers initially, and we know that at some point there might be a need to be a physical location. But right now, I think people are also a lot more comfortable shopping online than they were 5 years ago. So with the sort of layers of trust and the things that we've built in terms of the way we supply things, the way we grade things, we're hoping that people then start shopping with a lot more confidence on a platform like ours, and we can then grow the online presence a lot more. Because remember, at the end of the day, if we grow the online presence further and people are comfortable with shopping that way, we can give them better pricing, because brick and mortar comes with its own costs that you have to deal with in pricing and those kind of things. This way, it becomes sort of better for the customer because it's easier access at a lower cost. And we definitely want to grow the online presence a lot more. Yes, so everybody should check out the hawker.co.za and try us out. Remember, 7-day return policy, and we've got warranties on all of the products as well.
All right, Mishaan, making sure that you market that. All right, thank you once again for chatting to us on Tech Africa. I will check what's going on the website myself.
Please do.
All right.
And thank you for your time again.
All right, that's Mishaan Ratan, who's Managing Director of The Hawker. I'm a second-hand girl, me. Well, when it comes to like electronics and because I've had an encounter where I was like a brand new, but every time I would buy a brand new phone, without doubt, for 2 or 3 consecutive years, for 2 consecutive years, my phones were snatched, and I was like, is it even worth it? Because they'll be snatched like they didn't even exist. The last straw was when I went brand new, cash, iPhone 12 Pro Max. It was snatched again. And I was like, no more. Imagine you are walking into that store with your money and you're like, cash, and they're like, give me that phone, and your money is gone. So now that experience showed me there's no need. Sometimes it's okay. as long as it does the job. But also, are we going to address the fact that there are these iPhones that you buy that are not brand new, but they don't really work like iPhones? What do you call those guys? Are they like demo iPhones? Because you'll even also find them on Marketplace. They're cheap, but it doesn't make sure. It's like iPhone Lite. What do you call them? I actually want to know. All right, let me know on social media at Channel Africa 1 or on WhatsApp +27634069126.
Get the news, music, and